Hello everyone. I know it has been a while since you've last seen me on here, but I make this YouTube video today to announce that it is my 2-year anniversary of being a student pilot. 2 years ago today, I took my discovery flight with my first instructor. And the reason why I say discovery flight is even before going into it, for me, I already knew it wasn't a discovery flight, it was lesson number 1. But anyway, today is my 2-year anniversary of being a student pilot, and in this video I want to explain why I've been a student pilot for 2 years now. As of today, I have logged 90.1 flight hours. These past 2 years have been filled with some really great experiences and some not so good ones, which I will discuss now. So let's get into it. So when I started on August 14th, 2022 to about May of 2023, my whole flight training experience went well, I would say. Leading up to my first scheduled check ride date, the plane that I was supposed to take the check ride in, a student pilot flew it a few weeks prior and had a pretty bad landing in it, causing structural damage to the plane. The flight school owner got a new plane in replacement of that one. I went to the flight school and turns out the weather was not suitable for taking a check ride, so unfortunately I had to reschedule again. The next day comes around, May 26, 2023, and I hear that the replacement plane that the flight school owner bought has went down and crashed and unfortunately killed my instructor and another student. After rescheduling my check ride a second time, on July 1st, 2023, I was able to take my first attempt at my private pilot check ride. Unfortunately, after my first attempt, I went home with a disapproval on my oral after messing up too many weather and sectional chart related questions. The stress and pressure of trying to take that check ride after what has previously happened assisted in the disapproval of my certificate that day. About a month went by after that first attempt, and on August 7th, 2023, I went for my second attempt on the private pilot check ride. On the second attempt, I got through the oral portion no problem, and soon after, I was doing the walk around on the plane. While doing the pre-flight inspection on the plane, I noticed thunderstorms. Before we even got in the plane to do the flying portion, I decided to discontinue because thunderstorms were around the areas where we planned to do maneuvers, and I didn't want to run the risk of failing again because of it. Luckily for me, the flight school owner contacted me and said that the examiner had an open slot for the next day for me to continue my check ride. On August 8th, 2023, I went back there and I continued. I got through the first part of the exam by demonstrating a regular traffic pattern lap containing a regular takeoff and landing. After getting through that first part, it was time for me to demonstrate a short field takeoff. I was cautious as to seeing who was using the runway, if anyone. I heard that there was a helicopter about to turn final for the runway, but I figured that I had enough time to use the runway and take off. Little did I know that that helicopter was on final for the runway way sooner than I thought because of an engine out simulation. Right before I was about to take off, I was stopped by the examiner because the helicopter was flying right overhead and eventually going around. As a result of that situation, I have now received 2 disapprovals for my private pilot certificate. After those 2 situations, I knew even through this I could not give up, so I wanted to retest a third time with the same examiner. After talking with the examiner, I have learned that the FAA does not like it when you retest a third time with the same examiner. I had to leave the school and find a new one so I can retrain and retest a third time. In the midst of all of this, on October 11th, 2023, I've officially started my new job working as a ramp agent for a major US airline. My previous job, working in the bakery of a grocery store, did not provide enough money for me or my flight training. As a result of getting my new job, my availability for flying was cut short. So on December 27th, 2023, I ended up going to a new flight school. What I thought was going to be just a few months of training so I can go ahead and take my third check ride attempt ended up being a little longer than that. This flight school was good, don't get me wrong, but lacked sufficient availability for me. At this point in time, I had the availability of flying Monday through Friday. When I'd go to schedule flights, they only had the availability of 1 day per week. Personally, that was not enough for me, and the flight school was a 1-hour drive from my house. So in an attempt to save time and money, on July 6, 2024, I had to leave the flight school. After all of this, here I sit now making this video on August 14th, 2024, still a student pilot. Despite everything that I have explained, I have no plans of giving up and I want to eventually get my private pilot certificate. As of right now, I want to work as much as possible so I can save up enough money that I could use for flight school later on. I want to find a flight school that will have enough availability for me so I can consistently attend and finally finish. In addition, I am currently looking at a scholarship that is being given by my company for their flight school academy. As of right now, I'm going to try everything in my power to find a solution to this so I can finish training and become a private pilot. To conclude, even through all of this, I want to give a big thank you to those that have given me continuous support and that will continue to give me support. No matter what happens now, I will do everything I can to get my private pilot certificate. With all of that being said, if you made it this far, I thank you for hearing me out. I thank you for being here. I'm glad that you are. And thanks for watching.